What's going on, everybody? It's Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So a pretty mixed bag in the stock market today, guys. S&P 500 down 0.2%, the Dow Jones down 0.5%, and the Nasdaq went up 0.5% as the Russell 2000 pretty much just broke even on the day. And in this video, we're going to be talking more about the stock market, breaking down some technicals, going over a bunch of high growth stocks to buy now, and I want to share with you guys what I've been doing in the stock market, stocks I own right now, and in general where my head is at as a trader and as an investor. So if you guys find value, hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to claim your 4 free stocks from WeBull, link down below. And by the way, that does run out here in the next couple of days, so don't forget to get your 4 free stocks linked down below. So let's get into it, guys. And what did I say in yesterday's video? We talked about this channel, and honestly, in the previous couple of videos, we talked about this channel on the 5-day, 5-minute on the S&P 500, right? And now that we got some price action for today, we can clearly see we did not hit an all-time high on the S&P 500. We struggled at the previous close on Friday at about 3,700, and we failed to break the resistance of this channel. In fact, we sold off and tested the support of the channel. And take a look at what happened pretty much from 2 p.m. here on the East Coast on. What do you see, guys? Take a look at it with me. We can see together that it held that support like clockwork, right? We hit 36.80, we rallied up to 36.90, saw a lot of volatility in the last hour, and ultimately we double bottomed at 36.80. You guys can see it here. Double bottom followed by a breakout that is very bullish. And again, pulling back to that 5-day, 5-minute, we double bottomed, we popped up, which solidified the support of the channel. So for tomorrow, the next couple of days, I wouldn't be surprised if the S&P were to gap up and maybe hit an all-time high. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after, maybe some point this week, as long as this channel is holding on the 5-day, 5-minute, right? And what you guys have to do, and what I'm doing, I'm watching the futures market, right? ES. Watch ES, which is the E-mini S&P 500 index futures, and look at where these are trading at during the session, pre-market tomorrow, and look at where the large caps are at. If they're up a ton, that means, hey, we could be going up here on the S&P to break that all-time high. So keep an eye on that. And then when it comes to SPY, which is an ETF that tracks the S&P, a couple levels here that I'm looking at. One, 369 to 370. That is the resistance here. That is the all-time high that needs to break, as well as this 5-day, 5-minute level of support, if it wants to zoom up on here, at about 368, right? We can see a double bottom there, and now after hours, you can see the market is actually selling off again. So 367, 368 is a big level of support here on SPY, right? We double bottom there during the session, and now after hours, we're about to test it. So watch for 368 on the bottom side and 370 on the top side here on SPY. And when it comes down to the good old Dow Jones, guys, we failed holding 30,100, right? On Friday, we actually closed above it. You can see we actually held 3,100, and we rallied into the close, which was really bullish. And today, we actually opened up pretty bullishly. I've mentioned that word before, bullishly. I think that's definitely not a word, guys. But we opened up pretty well. Let's put it that way. We hit 3,200. Is that an all-time high? Did we hit an all-time high today, Dow Jones? Yep, we did. We opened at 3,233, but we ended up failing to hold 3,100 on that sell-off, and we closed right under it at about 3070. So, 3070. So watch out for this point tomorrow on the Dow Jones, 3,100, right? 30,100. If that breaks, I'm thinking we could be testing that high again, and it could be a cup pattern, right? If we break 3,100. So take a look here at the Dow Jones, those couple of levels there. And when it comes down to the Nasdaq 100 here, guys, hit an all-time high today, right? 12,610. And if I extend this to the right, take a look at what we did today. This is very bullish. We actually gapped out of that resistance from Friday. Take a look. On Friday, we closed right at 12,500. And I've been saying, guys, 12,500 is a resistance point from the previous day on Thursday and earlier that week. Do you guys remember me talking about the Nasdaq at these points? I was saying 12,500 is a big resistance. And take a look at what happened. We actually uptrended into that resistance. You can see it here from my previous analysis. We uptrended into the resistance. We made an ascending triangle, and we bursted right out of it today. This played out beautifully, very bullish here, and we ended up closing above 12,560. We actually double bottomed there and rallied into the close. We closed almost at 12,600. So this is very bullish to me. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, guys. And if you are enjoying the video, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as we are trying to get 20,000 subscribers here by the end of the year. So what did I personally do today? I didn't do much, but I did initiate a tiny position here, small position here, in NNDM, guys, right? This is the only new position I took today, and I actually took it earlier in the day after it hit $7 per share. It hit $7.15 if you guys recall, and then it sold down to about $6.70, and that's where I was looking at it, right? We hit $7.20 almost, sold to $6.70, double bottom, broke up there, and that's where I actually added some money into NNDM. And the truth is, I was up on the position not a long time, not by much either. I was up from 680 to about 690. I could have locked a little bit of profit there. It would have been a little bit under 2%. Nothing too crazy, but the truth is, this is a swing for me. Not a long-term swing, more of a short-term type of swing. I'm looking to get in and out of this one, as I do think there is a lot of potential out of $7 on this stock, right? We can see it actually held today with the gap down this morning. It held this channel on the hourly chart beautifully, bullish channel. We held that, also the 180 SMA here on the hourly chart, and we filled the gap pretty much to 720 like we saw, and now we're seeing a bit of a sell-off, right? And I think this sell-off is opening up a buying opportunity in the middle of this channel with upside to, let's say, 790, even above $8 in my humble opinion, right? So I put in a little bit of money here at 680. I was down a little bit, did not sell at 660, and now after hours it's pretty much right back to my cost. So I'm actually holding on to this one. A couple other ones that I'm in, Alibaba, BABA. Been in this one, guys, for a couple days now. I'm in at about 269. This is one that I actually locked in half of my position a couple trading days ago on this run-up, and I'm still holding on the original, the other half, rather, of my position. Workhorse is another one that I'm holding on to right now at about $22, down a little bit. Excuse me, guys, down a little bit on this position, but I'm not sweating it, because if you guys recall, I actually unloaded half of my shares at about $28 on this run-up, and now it's sold off from there, and I'm kind of figuring out what I want to do. I'm definitely holding on to my $22 position there, but I might even add more if it breaks out of 22 into 23, maybe into that momentum, as I think it could go up to $25 from there. And I'm also still in Apple, AAPL, which I'm loving this one. Don't really plan on selling it anytime soon. I know I said about 127 is where I might lock in some profits. I might still do that, but I think overall we're going 130s, right? So I'm in at 112. I'm up right now, but again, I kind of want to let my shares ride out a bit into the 130 level. We'll see. And SLV is another one that I'm in for some silver exposure there, up 1.5% today. Pretty solid performance on SLV. And EA Electronic Arts is another one which, guys, it did so well today, up almost 2%, broke 129, 130 resistance. We closed above it, almost at $131. So I think EA could actually keep going up to 134 and even above that into the mid 130s. I think that is honestly where EA is going. So let me know your thoughts, guys, down below in the comments. What are you up to? Are you trading anything? Are you buying? Are you selling? Are you sitting on cash? I know the markets are at all-time highs, and it's a bit scary, but I'd love to know your thoughts. Me, I'm still buying, but I still have some cash on the sidelines, because cash, just look at your cash and be like, okay, that's an opportunity. That's what I look at cash as. I don't look at it as cash. Well, obviously I do, but I also look at it as a pile of opportunities, right? Keep that in the back of your head. That's kind of how I look at it. So let's talk about some stocks now that I'm looking to buy that did very well today. Some I'm regretting I didn't buy into, but we'll cover them anyway. CRSR. We called this one out and talked about it on Friday, was it? Thursday or Friday. We talked about how Corsair Gaming has been beaten down from $52 down to about $30, $32, right? That was a trim of about 35%. And despite the sell-off, it still held the overall uptrend on the 4-hour, right? That's what we were talking about in that video where we did mention the stock. And I said it's holding the uptrend, but it's also downtrending at the same time in the short term here because, again, it's been getting clobbered from 52 down to 33. And I told you guys, watch for which direction it breaks. Does it break the support of this uptrend, which it didn't, or will it break the resistance and slowly start to climb back and gain some? And it did that, right? You guys can see here, we broke the 50 SMA today on the hourly chart. We had a nice 6% almost day here on the stock. We're filling the gap close to that next moving average at about $40. So for tomorrow, that's where I'd be looking for Corsair to be going, probably at $40, $40-ish dollars. I think it could break there eventually at some point this week, maybe next week, and get deeper into this circle, oval, whatever you want to call it, that I have here on my chart. I think that's where overall Corsair is going, and we're seeing a slight momentum shift now from the downtrend to a nice reversal uptrend. So shout out to Corsair, CRSR. That is one that's definitely worth watching. What the heck? Siri just started talking on my watch. That's kind of creepy. Are you listening to me, Siri? Probably you're listening to every word I'm saying. But anyway, I don't even know if you guys heard that, but my watch started talking. Anyway, IPOB. IPOB, guys, we called this out yesterday. And the beauty of having a YouTube channel, well, you might not think it's a beauty, but you call out a bunch of stocks, right? And it's not possible to get into all the stocks you call out. And sometimes they run up, they make a ton of people money, and you don't get in the stock. And in this situation, I called out IPOB yesterday, and I didn't get in the stock. But if you guys made money, shoot me a comment down below. That's good enough for me, because if I called it out and you guys did your own research, you got into the stock, I'm all for that. That is awesome. That's a win in my book. But anyway, IPOB went up almost 20% today, and their merger is going through here in the next couple of days on the 17th of this month, and they're going to be trading under the ticker symbol OPEN, OPEN, which is a pretty cool ticker symbol if you ask me, on the Nasdaq exchange. So watch out for IPOB. And take a look at what we did today, guys. On Friday, we closed at the resistance of this wedge. And we talked about this, guys. If it breaks this wedge, it's likely to fill up to $24. It did not only that, but it broke 24 and it ran up almost to $26 per share. So this played out beautifully, guys. Again, I didn't get in, but if you did, kudos to you, right? And let me know down below in the comments. But at this point, I wouldn't chase it, right? It's overbought. R size hot, almost at 80. So I'd look for a pull down on IPOB. I think anywhere from, let's say, $24. And if it breaks 24, we might be seeing maybe 22.75, 23. But I think 24 can hold. And if we pull down there, that would be the entry point, right? Just because you're seeing it up 20%, I know you guys are getting some FOMO. Fight it, because me personally, I wouldn't chase it. And I think that it might see a pull down. We'll see how that ends up going down. And PLTR, guys, Palantir, another one here that's going ballistic today. I didn't get into this, but if you did, shout out to you. It went up 21%, up over $5 per share. And they actually got a contract. Palantir Technologies won a deal with the U.S. Food and Drug Administration to help power drug reviews and inspections, further expanding the company's government business. The 3-year deal is worth $44.4 million and will allow the FDA's Center for Drug Evaluation and Research and Oncology Center of Excellence to use Palantir software to integrate and analyze data. The software will help the agency approve drugs, including possible CV treatments, and monitor the safety of items like hand sanitizer, and a bunch of other products, guys. So PLTR, that's great news on a beaten down stock from $33 down to $22. We also mentioned this wedge here that Palantir got itself into, right? It was uptrending. Also, it was downtrending at the same time, and it broke out the past couple of days. Excuse me, guys. Yet again, my throat's clogging up. But now with this breakout, it's looking very bullish, right above 50 SMA, 180 SMA on the hourly chart. It closed at $28.94, and guys, it's up over $30 here after hours. Holy crap, what a move there on Palantir. So yeah, take a look at Palantir, guys. I'd argue it needs to pull down a bit, but there's a lot of momentum. It's getting hot. It's very, very hot for Palantir stock. And another one here is Ride, which went down a ton. Lordstown Motors today down almost 15%. And one thing to note here is we're seeing a bit of a descending pattern overall in the 4-hour, right? We topped at 32 back in September. Now we recently just topped at about $30, right, at a lower high. And we sold off earlier this week, or last week rather, from $29 to $21. We held that support at $21 from back in September. We saw a bit of a relief rally, but overall it still seems like there's a bit more downside based on these technicals here with Ride. I think, honestly, now that we're seeing a lower high forming and we actually close under 21, which is not too great, I think we could be going down to test $19. That was a resistance from back in August and back in the middle towards the beginning of November, right? That could be the next gap that fills down. But honestly, I'm cool with that because I'd like to buy these shares a bit cheaper. $19 could be a screaming buy. And from there, we probably will see another relief rally from $19 back into the 20s, kind of like we saw a couple days ago again when it went from $20 to about $24. So watch out for $19 here on Lordstown. Another one is CRM, Salesforce, which finally is showing some consolidation. I mean, it's been getting crushed the past couple of weeks. Not weeks. I mean, it's been like 10, 14 days, I'd say. It's been getting hit ever since the end of November from 260 down to about 220. And now what we're noticing the past couple of days, a nice strong base has been forming at about 220. We held it once, twice, 3, 4 times. About 4 days in a row now we've been holding 220. And the tides could finally be turning here on CRM based on, this chart. I think there could be a bit of a relief rally. Now that I'm looking at it, okay, hear me out, guys. 230 needs to break, right? That's the low from back in the beginning towards the end of October into the beginning of November, right? That was the low on CRM. So 230 would need to break, in my opinion, and then from there we could see some upside for the stock. I'd say probably 240, 250. So be careful, don't get trapped under 230. But if 230 can break, hey, upside is coming on a beaten down stock here, in my opinion, like CRM, right? And Tesla, oh my goodness, guys, Tesla, I've been getting questions about this one like crazy, and honestly, guys, it is getting to euphoric levels. I'm not calling a bubble. I don't think it's a bubble, guys, but I'm calling a pull down. That's for sure. I'm calling a pull down here. And honestly, we called this. I didn't take this call, this call out here, but we called it, right? You guys remember this if you follow my videos every day. We talked about how Tesla was at 600, right? Big resistance at 600. We got topped there back in the end of November a couple times, heading into the beginning of December, and we were uptrending into that resistance. Yet again, another ascending triangle, and we just bursted out today, up 7%, and after hours we're up even more. So call it 8.5% on the day pretty much, which is unbelievable, guys. And at this point, the inclusion for the S&P 500, I believe it's coming on the 21st of this month, which I think we could rally even more. I mean, I would love for it to just pull down and cool off, but with how hot of a stock Tesla is, I wouldn't be surprised if it pulled down a bit, then rallied again, maybe to 670, 660, and then when the S&P 500 inclusion went through, whatever, all that jazz is over, right? We might see a bit of a sell-off, a slow decline after that before it starts ramping up again, right? That's kind of what I'm viewing it as right now. It might rally a little bit more into the inclusion, but afterwards, it might sell off in my humble opinion. And GME GameStop is another one worth watching here, although today went down about 3%. Anywhere above $15, $16, as long as we hold that, I think there is upside on GME on the 20-day chart. You guys can see it, right? We are kind of making a descending pattern, but at the same time, we're uptrending. So we're in this wedge. So take a look on this hourly chart, what direction we end up picking. And oh my goodness, I didn't even know earnings are coming out here on the 8th, so that's going to be huge. I'd probably wait until that. That's literally tomorrow. I'd wait to see what they report before getting into the stock. That's just me, though. I don't like trading through earnings. That's a lot of kind of like a gambler's mentality, in my opinion. But do you guys? That's just my opinion. Again, this is the Stas Surfest YouTube channel, right, guys? But yeah, GME, watch this wedge on the hourly chart. NIO is another one here. The Chinese EVs, they're all facing a similar pattern, right? On the hourly chart, they're all finding strong, solid bases, but they're still downtrending into those bases, right? So you can see here on the hourly chart, NIO is not breaking out of this downtrend. I mean, come on, NIO, you got to break out. I think if it breaks 46, 47, we're going back to the 50s, right? So take a look on this hourly chart for NIO. Li Auto's another one, right? Same exact pattern. We're downtrending, but we're finding a pretty decent base at about $29 to $30. So we need to see what direction we pick, right? If Li breaks out, if NIO breaks out, heck, they're all going to follow each other because they all move in unison at this point. At least the past couple of trading days they have been, right? So Li Auto, watch this pattern. NIO, same pattern. And XPEV, the same exact pattern. No joke, guys. You can't make this up. It's downtrending on the hourly, but it's also holding a pretty decent base, I'd say, at about $48.50. So watch out what direction it picks. It's going to tell a lot in the short term. And another one here, which is doing well, today it went up almost 11%. We also called this out on Saturday when I mentioned a bunch of EVs, right? Go check that video out if you haven't. SBE, Switchback Energy here, broke out. It broke out of that resistance on the wedge, right? It filled the entire gap up to about $38. Now we're selling off a bit under here. So I wouldn't chase it here, but I think if 38 can break, momentum will probably push it to the high. So that's kind of the play I'm looking for now. If SB breaks 38, watch out for a move up to 43. And the last one here is BLNK Energy, guys, which is a bit earlier in the pattern than SBE. We also broke the wedge here on the hourly, which is bullish. We also broke 26, closed above it, which is also bullish. And now I think in the short term, and it's actually up after hours as well. In the short term, I think BLNK could hit $29.50, $30, which is that high from back on the 27th. So keep an eye on all of these. There's a lot of potential here, guys, a lot of upside with these stocks. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Are you buying any of these? Are you in any of these? I would love to know. And if you all enjoyed the video, found any sliver of value, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Strive Smart Discord chat and Facebook group. They're free of charge to join. And don't forget to get your 4 free stocks from WeBull, link down below. All you have to do is deposit $100 and you get 4 free stocks valued up to $1,600. And again, that runs out here in the next couple of days. So I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks for watching. As always, be safe out there, guys. Keep crushing the markets. Peace out.